a good question.
Yeah, that's like the part that I can't put words to.
I feel like
just kind of kept happening.
I feel like what often comes back for you, and it's not necessarily like something that happened, but it's like you want to help people. Like you often say that, like, I want to help them not like be in this mess. I want to help them, like be creative with like this problem that we ran into. Like you just want to. I don't know if that has like.
Something
that's not
to
like
do with
something,
it.
like it's just
you go in and it's like people are very like price averse, right? Like price matters to a lot of people, so then it's like, okay, yeah, go with the cheaper person, and then you get to see that product and you're like, oh yeah, no, this is why it's cheaper. Like you're auditing everything as you see it, and it's like, even as a home builder, you walk around and you're like, why would you do that? Like, and you leave like the minute details that like matter to people that do this all the time, where like the average homeowner is not going to be like, oh, that's not done right. But like the details matter, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's like the woman or the couple that reached me on TikTok, and they saw the video of me doing a walkthrough, and they're like, oh, this is where we live.
Yeah.
And they lived there for 3 years. And she's like, it's one of the only places we've lived in since we've been together that like there hasn't been a maintenance issue or something came apart or something broke. So she's like, we knew it was really well done. So then she reached out to our website and was like, we want to hire you because we know that it's going to stand the test of time. So it's like, we don't cut corners. Right?
But it's also interesting that like, it's not often that you'll get a client that actually thinks that way. Like people won't think that until things start happening. So things start, like some people do, but not a lot of people. They want it to look good, which I totally understand. Yeah. But then when the quality isn't there or the process isn't there, it shows right away. And it's not something they necessarily would have thought of. I find it interesting that someone would, I don't know. It's not everyone that thinks that way.
Yeah. Different perspective and mindset. You both deal with this quite a bit, where people are very price driven in your industry, construction, wanting to get renovations done. I see it a lot as a coach, consultant. People are very price driven. And when you talk to them, you can go with the cheaper guy and you can get it done cheaper, but it's going to break a lot sooner. And then you're going to have to pay probably double to get it fixed. When if you just paid up front in the beginning, then you're going to have that longevity, and that quality stands the test of time, right? And so having those types of conversations, how have you been able to do that? Because you are known for quality. You're not known for being the cheapest on the block. You're not outrageous, but quality seems to be a reoccurring theme in your marketing and how you describe yourselves. So why do you think that you went in that direction, actually? Maybe that's my question, is why choose quality versus maybe something that would get you more clients if you cut corners and went the cheaper route?
Because we're honest people.
Ooh.
It's funny.
Why give a crappy product that you like? We want to stand behind it and be like, yeah, like we did that. Well, they did that.
It's it's a reflection back to like what you provide to somebody. So it's like you never want to think you're giving them something subpar, right? So if it doesn't stand like the quality assurance, it's like, well, it's not good enough. Like it has to be fixed.
I should start by introducing you. People know Mark by now.
Of course they do.
You were on my previous episode. So if you haven't watched the episode previous to this, it would have been episode 3. Mark, I would talk to you one-on-one, and you shared a lot about your story, the challenges that you went through and how you got to where you are today. And it's really going to tie a lot into the conversation that we're going to have. And we brought on your lovely wife, Josee, who has, as you described, an angel, the reason that you're here today.
Angel.
And
sometimes a devil.
I might have called you the angel.
Yeah.
Whoever it was, I'll take it.
I was going to give him credit. But you're a big part of Mark's story, and so that's why I just thought it was so important to make this a 2-part series, and then also talk about what it's like to build a business as a husband and wife team. I also am building a business with my husband, and so A, I'm interested in learning your secrets, and B, just talking about what's working, the challenges. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably wish that their spouse was more involved, or have a spouse that's involved and maybe having friction. So I think there's going to be a lot of value. But let's introduce you, Josee, to Build Pro. So Johnson Construction 613.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
It's not Construction Johnson 613, right?
No.
Johnson Construction.
Johnson
613.
Construction.
Yeah.
I am branded today.
Yes.
I am wearing the Johnson brand. And it's a business that I've seen grow over the past couple of years and has a reputation of quality. The two of you have this like down home, honest trustworthiness. You have become staples in the Ottawa community, in the real estate community, in the business community, in my coaching community. You naturally hold this presence of leadership that I see and support. And so, yeah, I think it's really awesome to have you guys here.
That's cool, yeah.
I want to hear, what is your role in the business? Josee, we've talked to Mark, is head contractor extraordinaire, CEO,
All the things.
Founder.
all the things, founder. What's your role?
That's a good question. I wear many hats, I think. I do most of the back end, like operation back end stuff, bookkeeping.
She really makes the company. That's the best way to
Just,
do it.
keep track of things, of like where we're at, what we're doing.
Finances.
Finances. Yeah, now that I have a VA,
Yes.
that helps a lot. So she's helping, alleviate that a little bit and make it better so we can do more.
What kind of things? It's cool because the VA reports to you.
Yeah.
And what kind of things is she doing to support you in your business?
So all the things, little things like I get the receipts, I get the payments, I get the invoices. She helps, kind of keep that all on track for the jobs and stuff like that. She's doing a lot of our social media things. She's also just like a good person to bounce like ideas off of, and she'll help and do it, and then give me like another perspective, which I found interesting because more so on the social media stuff, which is really new to me. So it's fun to have someone there. What do you think? This and that.
She's been with us how long? Over a year?
Just over a year.
And I've
She's
talked
great.
to her 5 times.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of like how removed I am from that part of the business, right? And I still don't have my own bank card, which I find odd, but baby steps.
Listen, you and me both. I don't know how to get into the bank.
And if I need one, she'll have to order it.
I was going to say, I feel like it's better because then I'm going to have to, walk you through it all. So we're good.
We joked earlier about the parallels of us because my husband and I, he does the operations. So Mark and I are similar. We are the bullheaded visionaries, and we have saints that run our life.
That's an understatement.
Understatement of the century. And so grateful for it. But yes, we are babied when it comes to certain things, but it allows us to do what we do best. And Mark's helping a lot of people, and all those people are impacted because of what you've done and how you've supported him. And I do want to dive into that a little bit. But I know people are listening and wanting to know, how do you structure your business? Like, how are you doing all of what you do and not being the ones that are in the weeds with everything? Can you, and I'll defer to Mark first on how does it work for you, Mark? If you can just maybe positionally talk about how you structure the business, and then Josee with the VA and the tasks and how you can sleep at night.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, yes, I'm sitting at the top. I consider myself equal with all the guys that are working within the company. I think it's like when you look at the bigger picture, you try to branch off and have people, like qualified people, and you put them in the right position to like make things happen for you. So
Person job
because
fit.
I'm like, what's that?
Person job fit.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's taken some learning curve. And I think it's taken like a better understanding of like what my role should be and try not to micromanage the shit out of these guys. I think that's the biggest thing is like relinquishing the trust to them to provide that product that you've always given. So it's like, like, I mean, I don't need to get too detailed, but like someone like Derek. So I met Derek, 6 or 7 years ago, and we just think on the same wavelength. And if anything, now I'm realizing like, he's more OCD and more detail oriented than I am, and
He does it better than you.
I
And
let him
that's the
take
key.
the reins on that.
Yeah.
Another like
Let's
Liam.
back up a bit just for clarity. What role does Derek serve in the company?
Yeah, so like Derek's really, I'd say second in command. He's third because Joe's really in charge. I would be second.
You're second, Joe.
Derek's,
Yeah.
Derek's
There you go.
third. Like I look to Derek.
He's your right-hand man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the answers that like, yes, I may have an answer, but he may have a better answer.
He's
And-
running the jobs.
Yeah, and I
Like-
put full trust in him in operations to make sure things go the way they need to go to ensure that our clients get the result that we're looking for.
How difficult was it for you to start to trust and to let go of the reins a little bit?
Because it's been so gradual, I think like if you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I don't think I could have made it to this point. Knowing what he brings to the company, it's invaluable, right? Like I can't emphasize the amount of trust that I put into him to perform the way that he does.
So many overworked entrepreneurs that are having such a tight grip because they don't trust their team. They need to control everything. They micromanage. The team can never actually learn how to do their job when somebody's hovering over them and doing it for them, first and foremost. But then when you find the right person for the job and you train them properly, you often find out they do it better than you.
Yeah, and it's I really truly think like the people that work for you groom you to be the person you are, because Liam's been with us like pushing 11 years. I took Liam on as someone that came out of Algonquin under the carpentry program. And I remember like after 2 or 3 years, he looked at me one day and he's like, if you yell at me one more time, I'm going to fucking quit. And I said, I noted that really quick because I relied on him so much to perform at the level I was at. I just don't think he was there yet. Now, like Liam runs jobs by himself. He takes the ownership. We make sure that he's treated very well. We understand like he has a family, he has to provide. So it's like, he's a staple in the company, right?
Yeah. How would you say that your management style has changed over the years to what it was, maybe at the peak of when you needed all the control, to where it is today?
Yeah, I think now I look at it and I identify my role as like a professional problem solver. Like every single day, things are going to come up. It's how you deal with them face hand, and I hate to say pass the ownership to them, but like let them deal it with in their own style to make like that problem go away. Like in the world of construction and renovations, it is constant. So it's like knowing you've set them up, I support them fully and let them make decisions, and I stand behind the decisions they make.
Amazing. Amazing.
Which you definitely had a harder time. Like you were saying, 5, 6, 10 years ago.
It would have been impossible to like relinquish that and let someone be in that much control, because you're always like, oh, do it this way, do it this way. It's like now it's like, oh, you made that mistake before, so that's not going to happen again, or in hopes that it doesn't. They're really good with the clients. They're very transparent when something does happen, like you know about it right away. So then it's like, how do you fix it before it becomes a bigger issue? I feel like there's too many companies out there that like maybe cut corners or something happens and they try to sweep it under a rug, and then like when the client does find out, it's like you've gone so far ahead. Like, how do you fix it at this point?
Yeah. Or they try to put it behind a wall.
Exactly.
Yeah, or put it behind the wall. Right?
Exactly.
With all
from
credit,
experience.
you didn't know me at the time, so you're forgiven.
I didn't know you. Although it was a cheap job, and I went with the cheapest. And I had, for context, I purchased a house, and we weren't going to flip it to sell it, but we wanted to get it to a certain point for the appraisal, and then we're going to demolish it down the road to then develop it. And I did. I went with the cheapest contractor because I didn't need it to be anything with longevity. I knew that in about 2 years I was going to demolish it. But then, sure enough, I guess a year and a half later, we had complaints. We had a medium-term rental in it, and we had complaints, and found out that, maybe you can tell it better than I can, but somebody punched a hole through what would be the toilet pipe.
Yeah, there was a plumbing stack, a toilet drain that ran down through the wall, and it looked, I'm going to presume the electrician drilled up through the top of the wall and through the side of the pipe.
Yeah.
And then you had shit water leaking in the wall for a year and a half.
A year and a half. That was fun. But Mark to the rescue, and you guys came in and you fix it just like that. Yeah. And, lesson learned for me, even if it is a quick job, if it's not something that we needed real quality for, it still matters, because in a year and a half's time, that's a short amount of time. Yeah. And a lot of damage was done.
Right.
And when we talked to the contractor, they took no ownership of it. And it was an obvious, what's the word I'm looking for? It's one thing if there's wear and tear, but it was not malpractice isn't the word I'm looking for, but it was
just negligent.
Negligence, thank you. That's what I wanted to say. You look at something like this and the walls are open, someone drills through something. If you even think you nicked it, like you would be. You gotta check that. I think like further to that is that these guys continued to work in the home, and they probably caused some of that damage by flushing the toilet at one point. Yeah. And so sure, you can give us all the credit in the world. The trades guys that work for us are amazing. It's nice once you've built that relationship with them, you make a phone call and they can come to the rescue really quick. So plumber, electrician, they're not only like very good colleagues, they're really good buddies of mine. And here's what entrepreneurs need to understand is that the CEO at the top, the founder, is meant to support the team. And the team, like your job is to support the team. How do you make their life better? How do you make their job easier? The team supports the clients. Right. And you mentioned that. You said how good they are with the clients. And then the clients support the business. And it is the circle of life for the entrepreneur. But many leaders and founders, CEOs, get it completely wrong. And they just cut out the team and they bypass it. And they don't take ownership over A, hiring the wrong person, or B, not training or leading. We wouldn't have the company we have without the team that backs us. Like it's pure and simple. Absolutely. Or you would have, we would still be in the same stuck position we were in years ago of just doing everything ourselves all the time. And you will stay stuck. And you guys are so big on quality, and that you can still continue to have quality because that's the culture. And it's what you are developing in your team, and you're finding people that are better than you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's believe it or not, I don't believe it. It does happen. I know. Not often. Diamonds in the rough, needles in a haystack. Yeah. For anybody starting out, it takes years to build your team of like reliable guys that you can fully put all your trust in. I mean, it's. And then you have to make sure that you keep them around and that you treat them properly. But everyone's human. Everyone has families or whatever, but yeah, I just really noted like that also personal aspect of understanding and treating them well and knowing what they want and being open to so that they can come to you if there is an issue, if there is whatever I think is important. Because when you realize it that people, employees, humans are not always just motivated by money.
Exactly.
circumstances,
Yeah.
the environment, the
Yeah.
culture that you create for them, the loyalty and the commitment that
Right.
they'll have for you, it runs much deeper than
Yeah,
the paycheck.
It pays tenfold
Absolutely.
because when shit does go south and you make a phone call, they're there as soon as
Yeah.
you need them. And
Yeah.
that's like the biggest thing.
Because you're there when they need you, right? So it's like that circle, like you're
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah.
And if you want to have top employees, you have to be a top employer.
Right.
And so that leads me to you, Josee, because you've been doing a lot of work in the back end with the administration, the policies, and even if that's not considered the sexy work, it's important because it standardizes your business, it structures your business, it helps give certainty to your employees so that they know what to expect.
Right.
And that there's no chaos happening in the background. And there's a sophistication that comes with that will draw in top candidates.
Right. I'm gonna preface this with like still a major work in progress, but it does feel more in control.
Yeah.
And when you feel like it's more in control, standard, it's easier to relay that to your employees and hold that expectation. When you're not sure, or when it's wishy-washy, or when you're not 100% like locked in on your decisions, it's harder to relay that and be on it. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, but I see a difference. Like it's like, this is why it has to be this way, and this is why we created this policy. It just makes us better for it, and let's move
It's a lot
on,
more
you know.
control.
Yeah.
And it's not like direct control to someone, it's control when you look at the bigger
Just
picture.
controlled. Like
Yeah.
it's just seems more tight.
Yeah.
Is that a good
No, I think
analogy?
so, because now everybody knows what to expect.
Exactly.
But then it also relates back to like that finished product, right? There's a reason why things happen in a certain way and why we get the outcome we get, because people are on board and they've signed up for this. They get it.
And the guys and girls who sign up for that level of standardization already are in a league of their own,
Yep.
It's true.
because they respect it as well. So the ones that are willing to follow it, believe in it, and they respect it, and everybody's happier. It's a win-win situation. So for entrepreneurs that are listening that might be operating in what I would call chaos, where you don't have structure, you don't have standards, then that's the outcome that you're going to get. It's in your team, in your clients, in yourself, your business, and it's work that's not easy.
And I would say too, so no one likes change, right? It's just is what it is. And when you start, like for me, when we started talking about policy, it's just that word, right? It's like has like that tone to it. And
Very
Militarized.
HR.
yeah, and I'm like, how are like they're gonna like not do this or not? And they're an awesome group of people. It's not that they're gonna push back. It's just it's gonna look so off compared to like what we've been doing. So the way that for me, it was like start slow, like dress code. Like this will be our new policy for dress code, and it was just like
Digital
slow.
punch-in.
Yeah.
Slow little things that made it more digestible for me as the back end to be able to deliver to them. And I feel like it was well received in those little tidbits, It wasn't, oh, here's our policy complete, but like this big thing. And I've told them like, this is how it's going to start. It's always going to be changing, evolving. There'll be new things, once those things arise. So yeah, I just wanted to say like it has like a weird tone to it, especially if you haven't been doing it. And a lot of these guys have been working with us for a while. So that was my concern.
Then it's like, we're doing it this way now.
Yeah, so now it's more, but they also understand it. I think once you're able to articulate it as well, why, it gets more.
One of the biggest pushbacks was like digital sign-in.
Right.
So you sign in through your phone and it's like, oh, you're trying to keep track of us. No, it's like, we ask for your hours on Wednesday, payday's Friday, then you're calling, texting, emailing.
Automated.
You're calling and texting and emailing like everybody like 10 times. So
Yeah.
that's like 50 messages.
But then
where are your hours? You want to get paid.
But again, that the whole transparency and talking to those your employees is like, here's why. Like, we want to know how many hours we spent at the jobs, who was there, for billing, for like time and material, for us to be able to like better quote jobs, better have an understanding of like what jobs, like the amount of time it takes, like if we do another job like this. And then it was like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand. Like it wasn't, so that explanation piece of like transparency, I think really helps too.
If we're not making money, they don't have jobs. Right? And it's like that's the easiest way to
Now
put it.
you see the
We can
difference
see why
between
Josie's the one that, It's the buy-in.
Exactly.
buy-in.
And as a leader, sure, you could be a leader that just says my way or the highway, but you're not going to get the loyalty and the following and the commitment from your people when you don't get the buy-in.
Exactly.
And now we don't have to go to extremes and hold everybody's hand through it, but a leader gets that belief behind it and why they're doing it. And so, yeah, having that transparency.
But I just also think for me, if I think about myself, it's like just the understanding behind it makes it like gives the buy-ins easier. So let's just skip the whole wondering and go straight to that. This is why we're asking you. Just
And you
do
say it in a much nicer way than I do.
Yes.
You know.
I wish there was ways that I know I've been thinking a lot about this whole anti-HR because it's daunting for people. It's boring work. It's not work that's very fun to do.
Right.
It can feel out of reach.
You
know?
love it, don't you?
I love it. Yeah.
Writing policy.
Writing policy.
But yeah.
But it's like the the undertone of it is like heavy.
It is.
When it's not really, but it is, you know. I don't know how to explain it.
I think the biggest thing is once it's created, you're only building off it. You're not going back to the drawing board to figure out how do you start this again. It's
Do it
already
once.
there. It's like, okay, let's draw from this and perfect it to make it easier for like not only for us but for the guys that are there working.
Yeah. So you have a dress policy, obviously important in your business, construction, renovation, safety being one of that.
Yeah.
You have a leave policy.
Yeah, leave, just how people will go about it, you know, sick days, vacation, who, you know, to report it to and how.
If there's an injury or an accident on site.
An accident. And
isn't it crazy that there's contractors out there with teams that don't have these? Like if there's an injury, in my mind that's just a business would always have something like that.
And you don't think about it until it happens. And then you're like, oh, what's the process here?
What is
I think
the
as your
process?
company evolves and grows and you add team members to it, you almost have to have this in place. Because like at one point when it's me and somebody else, it's like, well, if something happens to him, I'll take care of it.
And
but when you're not always there,
you have to have like those key people that know those things. It doesn't need to be every single person, depending how big your team is. But those like key people in your business, they need to know like what the process is, who to call. And that's just like, call so-and-so, you know, call me. Like then, you know, but it's simple, but just having the know-how or who to do it with.
And from a communication standpoint, like how is everybody communicating with each other? Are you and Mark communicating directly? And are you communicating directly with the employees? Is it through text? Like, I think this is a big part of businesses that can feel very chaotic or muddy with WhatsApp, text, Facebook, Slack, all the different levels of communication out there. So how do you guys keep it tight?
Also work in progress.
Always.
But it's way better now than obviously it was.
We try to centralize things through Slack, which is like very similar to WhatsApp, but you can add photos, pictures, we can add job listings, so everything
like
tries to go into a job. again, it's like, because it's like a work in progress, does it happen exactly the way it needs to? No, but there's a lot of reminders that get sent out to try to streamline things. And it's like, if you can be more efficient on the back end, it's just going to allow for productivity up front, right? So
Very much.
It's getting the buy-in. And I think these guys aren't
slowly getting there.
So it's like drilling it into them to be like, this is why we do it this way.
And again, you're taking people that are very like hands-on on the tools, on the, it won't be the first thing they think about is to pick up their phone and, you know, so in the Slack channels, we've started doing like the jobs that we're at, and then the guys, if they need like a list of things, so Mark can get it ordered, things like that. If they had to go purchase something, the receipts go in there. So then me and the VA have access to that. So then she can input it in the correct
Everybody's
sheet.
aware.
Exactly. So it's all like, again, it's there's reminders and stuff, but I see that as like the learning curve, and it's gotten much better.
Photos, videos, and then the nice thing, it's always stored there. So if you need to look back at a job and be like, what happened at this point? Well, the information's there, right?
Yeah, no, I'm a heavy Slack user and all the businesses and all the channels. And if somebody comes new on board with me and then they message me about something work-related in anything other than Slack, then I just ask them to go and put it in Slack. So it teaches them pretty quickly, if they don't want to send me 2 messages,
they have to
just go into Slack.
Yeah.
And I'll be
I'm guilty of.
I was going to say, are you holding?
So I'm like, like I still take, text messages, and like, yes, you deal with things at face value. So it's like, even for me to get the buy-in, it's been difficult.
And it's a question of habit, which again, it's change. It's okay, we're going to start doing it this way. Things are more streamlined, and then it's the buy-in, the same thing, right? Like, this is why it makes it easier for everyone. It's like, instead of doing 4 phone calls, you can just put it in here, but and some things, the nature of the work,
I think
is a phone call, a direct phone call, or a direct text message.
I'm guilty of like messaging business to like a text message to my wife when she's like, let's keep this personal, keep this business. And it's like,
also,
still doesn't happen. There's too many moving parts of like, not just the construction side, the investment side, our real estate portfolio.
Do you have Slack channels for those?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say no, so shows what I know.
Yeah. Because doppelgangers here, we do the same. And if anything, I'll text Jeff, or Jeff will text me, and he'll be like, did you see the Slack message? So it's not like we're texting the message, but we'll just ping to say, hey, there's something in there in Slack if you're not tracking that, because our assistant is on vacation this week.
Right.
So I sent something to Jeff this morning. Normally I would be asking her, and she's on it immediately. And I had to ping him in text to make sure he goes and looks at Slack, because he probably wasn't expecting it.
Right, exactly.
But,
we'll get there.
You'll get there.
Work in progress.
Always.
We're way ahead of where we used to be.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to rewind a little bit. The business chat is so important, and I love it because I think that people will get so much value from that. But Mark had shared a lot about that evolution to get to where he is today. And like you said, he gave you all the credit. And
still do.
I have questions.
Uh-oh.
No.
Yeah. Let's do an easy question. He mentioned that you guys met at the gym.
Yeah.
How does this happen? How do you meet at a gym?
Do you want me to answer?
Honestly,
I want to hear the details. Meet cute, I think they call it, but how did? Yeah.
That feels like a lifetime ago. First of all. Okay. First, we were talking about this on our way home, or on our way here. Is that like how different times are now? Back when we were in our 20s, and like. You go out, you see people.
That's how everybody.
That's how people
just
meet,
met.
It was either at the gym or at a bar.
It was one of the two. Yeah. So went to the gym. I started going to the gym with Christine. I think probably out of boredom, like let's do something. He was there, and here we are.
Did he spot brought you? Did he come? Like, I need the details.
No. What?
How did he?
We're always there around the same time.
So it was a couple
Maybe that
times.
was planned.
Maybe that was planned.
Yeah. So it was a couple times you'd seen each other at the gym.
It was a small gym, so
Joe would strut by, go to the water fountain. You know.
I did no strutting. Okay. No, it was a small gym, so it wasn't like this huge gym that is like a basement gym. Basement gym? Yeah.
It wasn't in a basement.
Like not someone's basement.
What I
but
really
like-
want to know is, does Mark have game? Is what I want. To
I
know.
guess so, because
Here you are.
If I can be as blunt as I would be,
Oh, gosh.
during that time in my life, I wasn't looking for a future wife. I'll put it that way.
That's fair.
Is that a nice way to say it? I think so.
Well, I don't think I was not a wife, but a husband.
It's,
So you dated.
Yes, we dated.
For how long did you date before you got married?
a couple years.
Okay.
We moved in together probably quicker than, well, like
so you were 24
7, 8
and I
years
was 27,
months,
Okay.
right? That would make sense. Timeline.
I think.
That was
It was
eons ago.
23 and 26, but that's okay.
I stand corrected.
Did you have your construction business at that time?
I think I was
or
like
were you starting?
to-
You were doing construction, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Probably not as
As
steady
active.
or like as active, but it had started for sure.
And what were you doing?
I was working for a video conferencing company.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So
the
I
government,
was
yeah.
working, so he had his private company who had a contract with the government.
Okay.
So I worked there.
Okay. And you got married. Mm-hmm. How did Mark propose to you?
It was lame. It was
Just-
lame, eh?
Well, it wasn't, well, yeah, I guess.
So let's go back. Okay, so I remember it, so that's good.
Well, I remember too.
I remember, like, okay, I have to buy this woman a ring. And it was
This
like,
woman.
I like to consider myself to be cost conscious, so I found a ring on Kijiji of all places, and the guy had a ring, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go meet him, and of course I'm like, okay, I better show it to her before. So I showed her a picture. I'm like, is this acceptable? Like, is this something you want?
So romantic.
I know.
Yeah, is
right?
it? Or is it pretty lame? So I'm like, okay, we'll meet him at the mall. And then when I met him, I'm like, okay, like, let's go to Maison d'Or where you bought it. I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm not buying like a dollar store ring.
Yeah.
We went in and he wanted, I think it was like $1,100. So I walked up to the guy with the ring at the counter. I'm like, apparently this guy bought it from you. I'm like, what is it worth? And I think he said at the time it was like $9,000. And he's like, I'll buy it from you right now for like $5,000. And I'm like, well, it's not for sale. So I walked out, I paid the guy,
Okay.
and then
Amazing.
I remember the guy was
I
like,
went home and I'm like, oh,
so-
will you marry me? And
Yeah.
it was,
but I remember the guy being like, so congratulations. Like, he's like, I don't know, this is kind of like wah wah,
so then
but it
there
was
was like
good.
a big stigma towards like, he proposed to his girlfriend and she said no and put it in a sock drawer. It sat there for a year and then he's like, oh, I'm not going to keep this. But in retrospect, he probably should have went back to the dealer and said, I'll
No
sell this back to
kidding.
you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he's listening to this podcast.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That's okay. That is cool. You guys get married.
Yeah.
How long after that did you have kids?
Okay, so we married in 2011 and Emma, so 2 years.
2 years.
2013.
Yeah.
2013. Yeah.
So really a year.
Okay.
Conception.
I guess so, yeah. A couple years.
When did you start to see cracks with Mark or start to notice some things going on with Mark?
I think I always noticed, but
You're like the bad boy.
You're a fixer.
maybe.
You're a fixer.
But there was like, it wasn't like bad moments. It was like he still had it together.
Yeah.
We were still like, I don't know how to explain that.
You saw the good in him?
And I saw the resilience, I think, from the get-go, right? So I guess there was a part of me that was like, this isn't gonna last forever.
Okay.
I don't know why. I thought that.
And you knew his story.
Yeah, like
early?
he was, I think our first date, you pretty much laid it all out. So yeah, I knew the story. And obviously as time goes on, you learn like more and more.
Yeah.
But
It's probably.
And then you meet more and more of like the people that were still around, my mom, my brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can see it, and even today, it's such a big part of your identity. So I could only imagine at that age when it was still so fresh for you, and that was really probably why that would be something that would come up so early in like a first date. And so, was there times that it got worse?
Yeah, probably.
You would gradually talk a little bit about.
So I feel like once we had kids, so the business was rolling. I was like on maternity leave, but still working, like still planning on going back to work with the video conferencing company. He was knee deep in building the business. So he was working like 16-hour days. You know, we have Emma like at home. So I feel like I really just went into survival mode and just did, because I was like, I don't know, what's the other choice? So
some people would leave.
Joe's not high maintenance or needy for that matter.
I think it was fine. Like there was obviously cracks, you know, but it was still okay. Like it was still, it never got to like a point of like darkness. I don't know how else to explain it. Like so bad, like terrible. It was just always like at the surface. I don't know if that makes sense. But like,
I was really good at keeping it together, even though I was like polluting my body.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I knew, I was like, you're saying this, but you're full of shit. Like, you know. But again, I think I just switched gears and was like, I
Survival.
need to raise these kids and do this.
It was one child at the time.
Well, then when the second one came.
Oh, it's still bad.
Not long
You
after.
were still a monster.
I think I just kind of like shifted into that.
So was there no point that you thought, I can't take this anymore? I'm not.
There was often points where it was like, no, I can't do this. But then it was like, well, now is not the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what I was telling myself. And then, okay, let's just keep going. And then there'd be like good moments. And then like the kids are getting older. So it's like a little bit easier. And I think, to be honest, if now that the kids are a little older and more independent, if it would have kept going, I would have probably left. Because now, like, it's like, okay, now you're like, I'm not needed as much there.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like, I don't know, like not
heal and take care of yourself.
You know, I'm not in as much of a survival mode because like they're not newborns, they're not toddlers. So yeah, absolutely.
I mean, people endure things for all different reasons, and when you get locked into, okay, I've got these 2 kids to worry about, and I'm just going to weather the storm, and you see glimpses and hold that hope. And I don't have an ounce of that bone in my body, and that's why I'm so curious, because I'm so
well, there was probably some denial in there too. Like, I'm not gonna just be like,
but why do you think there was denial? Did you feel like you had an option if you did leave?
So maybe I didn't, like at certain points, you know, like, okay, so after our second child was born, I was like, I can't go back to work. Not that I didn't want to work, but I was like, I can't go back to doing my 9 to 5 and then coming home and like dealing with all of this. Also, the business was like going, so you're still working really late hours. So I was like let's make this work. So, you know, I left my job and then slowly started doing things in the business, like very slowly, because the kids were still very young. So like slowly doing, I think bookkeeping was like the first thing I started doing.
I mean, at that
thank God we have like an amazing accountant, because
at that point, like my mom was doing a lot of it because
That's true, yeah.
When my dad
That's
was
true.
around, she was doing servicing that back into the business for him to make his life easier.
That's true, yeah.
So
yeah, she was doing it, and then there was like maybe a couple years that there was, like, she was doing it, and then I was kind of like the liaison in between with like the accountant, and then the accountant, I don't know, he was just like, it may be easier since you are there with him for you to do it. I'll help you. Anyways.
There was a lot of puzzle pieces trying to put in.
Right.
You're shipping things out, getting them back, and then still having to be organized. And
and I knew nothing about running a business. Like, that was the furthest thing from my mind ever. I was like, I will go to work, and like, I will do my job well, and, you know, go home, whatever. So I was learning that as well. So there's like a lot going on there, you know, the babies are little, learning this stuff. And now I don't have a job. Like, you know, I'm working, but I don't have a job. So if I leave, what happens?
Did you feel responsible for Mark too? Did you feel like he could handle you leaving?
I don't think I ever thought of that.
Okay. Because some people stay.
Yeah.
to answer your question, no.
I guess that's a no.
Didn't cross my mind.
Crossed my mind numerous times.
I don't think that was. I don't think so.
To me, it would have just put me in like a darker place, right? And it's like I told you before, like meeting Joe probably is the reason why I'm here today. Like, it's.
Did you know that you were having that much impact?
I told you every day.
I think I didn't believe him, to be honest.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me every day. No, but when, I'm trying to think, I feel like it was a long time ago. No, I didn't think so.
Now, do you believe it?
More so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now I tell you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does it feel now that you've weathered the storm and you've seen the growth that's happened? How does that feel for you?
It feels like a that's right kind of deal.
Nice.
not like, I know that's not very nice.
No,
right?
own that. I love that.
That's right. Yeah. No, I think it's like, again, I think you, in that survival mode, you know, I just kind of like, you forget a lot of the stuff, right? Because you're just like, just keep going. I'm trying to think, like.
I won't remind you now then.
No, but I don't think I think it feels good because I did work hard. I learned a lot. I still have a lot to learn, but yeah, it feels good, obviously, to learn, to hear that, like, we still built this together, even though it was the furthest thing from my mind, and not like my priority for a long time, like the kids were, and like all that. Now it's shifted a little bit more because, again, the kids are older.
I would almost imagine almost a sense of relief that you have your husband back, or maybe you never had him in the first place. And
I don't think he was ever like that. No, which is kind of weird. You know,
you fell for me.
I know.
Oops.
We were talking about.
He was always there, just deep down. It was there.
But you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
And for reasons that sometimes we don't even know or we can't explain, but you stuck through it. You had hope. You saw that, and it was the thing that.
I think there was moments along the way where I saw, like, he would, I don't know how to explain it, but like communicate in a certain way that he wanted to be a different person. Just, it wasn't the time, or like couldn't pull the trigger. There was like, it was like slowly there. And I don't know if I realized it at the time or if it was just like in the back of my mind. Like it was there.
I think you have intuition.
Maybe.
I think that it's when we were talking about how we all met and how crazy that story is, because me knowing you, it's not like I approached you and we didn't even have a conversation. And so that to me is kind of wild. That
it is, when you think about it.
Yeah, because I don't see you as a big initiator. I see you very chill vibes, go with the flow.
I'm like the back end.
Yeah. So for you to initiate business growth or this coaching opportunity or like whatever it was that you thought that you were moving forward into. I just think that that's,
maybe it is intuition.
I think so.
But it was
I
like,
think so.
it's like being on a different path, right? Because like at that point, business is in like full force. And like as owners, you feel like you're drowning. Like how do we get out of like the pinch that we're in?
But of all the people at that conference,
we didn't talk.
it was you.
I think that's why I think it's sun, moon, stars. I think that there's something bigger. Maybe I wouldn't have believed that back then, but the fact that we did not communicate, we had a micro moment. It was a micro moment of just acknowledgement while you walk by. Yeah,
It's true.
And for us to be sitting here today and have the relationship that we've had and what we've built and
It's strange, eh?
the growth that I've been able to have with you guys, because I needed to find clients like you that I could be like, this is who I need to serve. Because I didn't come into the real estate world to be a coach. I found social media, I was very against it. And I know you've heard the story too many times, but I was very reluctant to start putting myself online. I was approached by somebody to be a mentor, and I said no at first, and then finally said, okay, well, I think I could help them. So dirt cheap, and gave everything I had to support them. And within 3 weeks, they're buying a triplex, and they're doing all the things. And she reminds me very much of you guys. Like you would tell her to do something, she would go and do it. Shout out Melanie. And that sparked that with me.
Right.
But then I struggled for probably a year and a half of finding the right clients and navigating even how to find clients and sales and marketing and all of that type of stuff. And so I've been through my own journey, and a lot of it has been with you guys. The material is natural for me. That was the easy part, but it's that learning how to, position yourself.
Oh, we see those pivots.
You do. I know. Any OGs of mine now, they see the ride.
But which I think is so cool. Yeah.
Ever evolving.
Amazing.
It will always evolve.
But it just shows that that's what a business does, is it evolves and grows, right? So it's like, okay, maybe we don't have it all figured out yet, but it'll get there, right? Which is encouraging.
Yeah. But I think that you've got something. You have to keep listening to that because, that'll be. And you have a budding entrepreneur. I keep hearing the jewelry.
I wonder who she gets that from.
Right? I wonder who she gets that from. I do want to shout out your daughter, Emma.
Yes.
What is it? 2 girls and a cowboy? 2 cowboys?
2 and a loop? Oh, gosh.
2 girls in a loop.
2 girls and a loop.
Yeah.
If I know how to do show notes or anything, we'll make sure that
she's going to be angry if we don't know this.
I feel like I totally butcher that, but
if you
2 girls in a loop.
Yeah, if you go on TikTok and search, they do have a page, and
So I have the bracelet that Emma made me for WeBuild with the WeBuild colors, beautiful. And then Emma also made 25 of these bracelets here that was for another one of our Build Pro members and a client of mine, Angie Weeb, who lost her daughter within hours of birth. This was 15 years ago. And the bracelet is for anybody that does a random act of kindness for Ellie. And so once a year, there's a push for the Ellie movement. And Emma made 25 of these bracelets.
Yep.
So we're going to be sending that out to Angie and
to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm going to send her a link, and I'll do a little business consulting to help her learn her margins and and
if you can teach her, that's
charge
great.
to charge me properly. So I make sure that she gets paid.
She won't listen to me on that aspect.
Yeah,
so
I'll insist.
She'll need to hear it from somebody
I will
else.
insist for sure.
Perfect. Awesome.
No, you guys are doing an amazing job. Like I said, Staples, a lot of people look up to you, and you rise to that. So
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
We do our best to get to that point, right? And it's I think it's ever learning for us too. That's the biggest thing.
If we stopped learning, then what would be the point? Like if there was nothing else left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
What do you think is next for you? I kind of asked that question to Mark, but
I don't know. I hate when people ask me this because
Yeah.
I'm so not like future driven. Does that make sense?
yeah, no, it's fair.
I don't. Yeah.
You just go with the flow. I know
Yeah.
you like staying home.
Yes.
We're getting you to Costa Rica. How hard was that to pull the trigger? How hard was that?
So my thing is just having the kids there, which I think is going to be an amazing experience for them. Also fun to just be there as a family. But like I've said to you before, like I have a hard time
Shutting off
the like mom brain to like business brain.
Yeah.
Even when I'm at home, like if they need something, they're coming to me. Mark can do like hours of paperwork, which is great because that's what needs to be done without being bugged. But it's just how like our house flows, you know? So, so I think it'll just be interesting. I think if there's anything, it's more that, like how's it going to go?
Yeah.
But I'm not,
I know.
worried about it.
I think it's interesting too, and almost a little bit of an experiment to see, okay, what's this like? Because for us with Build Pro, it's so important that our families are involved. In my world, at least, I want vertical integration. I want my family integrated with my business instead of this work-life balance where I'm trying to balance business with family. I just make it a party.
Right.
And
we're not doing this for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And I've said that the last time we spoke. It's like we're very low maintenance. Like the money's not doing it for us. It's like I think like Joe can resonate and say the same thing. Like we're doing it for our kids to make sure that they're secure. They have the security they need moving forward. There's no handouts. It's like we want them to work hard and show up, but to give them a cushion when they start off in the world, it's like that's what I'm doing it for.
And it's I obviously agree, and that's why I think it is such a great opportunity for them to be involved in this and see that you can achieve things and do cool things and also like work. But then there's also another part of me that like I'm a business owner, but I'm not the business owner mindset that I'm like,
you get reminded
can
often.
we like just separate the two sometimes? But it's just not the reality, right? Like, but it's not like a terrible thing. I'm just like,
no, but it's
I have those moments where I'm like, oh, but it's the reality of owning your business and owning a thriving business. And it's like, I think out of everything, that's probably what I had the hardest time with.
I think like one of the biggest challenges we face now is like separating the two. And maybe you don't, but I do. It's like, I think about business when I wake up. I think about it before I go to bed. And it's like, where do you divide the business side of things and like a relationship with your wife?
Yeah.
It's like, we're in it together. So it's like, for me, it's constant. So like there's friction between that of like separating business and our actual relationship, our marriage.
And I think just learning.
I get a lot of grief.
As you should. No. But learning that I think is key, right? Like it's a good thing we're not both the same because that wouldn't work.
I was thinking in my head, I'd be like, oh my God,
it wouldn't work.
Would we just like ping, wake up, talk business all day?
Yeah. It just wouldn't, like for me, it just wouldn't work, right? And I think it's a good balance. I don't like the word balance because there's no such
Yin
thing.
and yang. It's
the,
you bring this, I was trying to think of a word, not balance, but
that's what it is. Like it's not, I know that. I think once
you even each other out.
Yeah, right. So I think once I was able to be like, this is just who he is. It's who he is, which makes him a good
accepting it.
Like entrepreneur, which makes him a good business owner. That's key. And then just knowing, but also for me to be like, okay, but I am not that. So let's figure this out so that it works, you know.
And how have you guys been able to manage that? I know you've put some practice into
Still
place.
Work in progress.
I get told.
That's going to be the title of this.
Work in progress.
Work in progress.
Well, just like communicating in Slack or keeping those two things separate. I need time to wake up in the morning. I don't get up at 4:30, and I have accepted that about me. So I'm just like, this is not who I am.
So the schedule is like
So-
a little different now. So like, yes, I get up at 4:30. Usually by like 5:30, I'm in the gym. The kids leave at 7. We generally go for a walk together in the morning. And that's our alone time, but then
we usually talk
sometimes
about
it's personal,
business.
and then
I was just going to say, are you allowed to
questions
talk
start coming
about
in.
business?
But yes,
Yeah.
because like everything else is gone. Like
You've
it's
had your
like
cup of
the
coffee
day
by
has started
Yeah.
and it's like not thrown at me the first thing I wake up. So I think those were the two main things. It's like, you've been up for an hour and a half.
Yep.
Like I haven't. I want to accomplish all those things. Don't throw it at me right now. I need a minute. And at night too, like I'm not thinking about business at 10 o'clock at night. It's just not who I am. So if you have something to tell me the next morning after I had my coffee.
So I've now started to write my questions in Slack saying, has this, do you, can you? And I think like my approach to it too is like, I would say like, you need to do this. And it's like, can you generalize it into a question so it's not like an attack?
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
just when things are happening so
That's
fast.
still a work in progress.
There's a lot of moving parts, so it's like I want to make sure everything gets addressed, right?
I'm doing a lot of, having a lot of conversations actually right now about being direct and versus like confrontational, aggressive, and finding that balance. And so I can see that energy that can come from you that you've worked on and will probably work on for quite a bit. And just the way that you communicate can come across harsh. And so for Josee,
That was a
who
big learning
is much
curve.
softer and needs probably a lighter touch.
Yes.
And it's
I'm
learning.
results driven, so it's like
Yes,
I need an answer, it needs to be done, and I'm get a better understanding,
Yes.
especially now that I'm more clear-minded on like the approach behind it,
Yeah.
and like maybe the softer touch behind it instead of being so.
What I love about it though is that you adapt for each other and you don't just write each other off because you're one way and he's another way and vice versa. You're each trying to make the changes for the other person that you can, that you're not needing to compromise things that are your values, but you can say a please and thank you, or Jeopardy style, ask it in the form of a question.
Can you please?
Yeah, just like dock and points or something. Don't respond.
Yeah.
And give time for Josee in the morning, because I'm the same way. I wake up early, my brain is firing on all cylinders. I'm so creative in the morning. And then by the time Jeff gets up, I have all the things I need to talk to him about and all my ideas that I need him to implement.
Do right now.
So I get it, and it's got to be this give and take, and the best way is communicating and being able to just say what I need
Yeah.
and how can we support each other on our needs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very thankful that Joe, quit her job to come work for a company that we've now created and built together.
Yes.
That's like huge. I know it doesn't always work with like couples working together, and like some days work, some days
Yeah.
don't.
Still,
We make
right?
it through.
Like it
course.
just and you go through
And it's like a
ebbs and flows.
7-day-a-week operation.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, things don't slow down Saturday or Sunday. You put 2 kids into hockey, there's, again, and like, you're the trainer for the hockey team. So it's like, you're gone just as much. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do we make it work?
Yeah.
So I think, like, you've seen the momentum that it's built. And, like, yes, it doesn't give you full freedom, but, like, more freedom now than it was before. So.
Well, and to go back to, implementing and having the right people in place, it's what has been alleviated a
Yes.
lot, right?
Yeah.
Because well, I can leave at like 4 o'clock to go to hockey because I know that my VA is going to finish off the day and flag me if there's something, or like the posts will be done or whatever, you know.
Go to the gym at 11 during the week.
Go to the gym, you know. So definitely.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. To any business owner that is drowning right now, doing everything themselves, what would you say to them?
I think be honest with yourself is key. So I think for a long time I like tried to follow his rhythm, which why? I don't know. I tried to follow his rhythm, and then when I couldn't, I was like not hard on myself, but I was like, why? And then it was like, no, it's just not who I am.
It's not who you are.
Yeah, so it's like but then also being like, I bring other things to the table, which is hard to like know if you're like, you know, like it takes time to be like, what do I bring to the table?
Yeah.
If I'm not firing like 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
So I think being honest with yourself and then working within that is going to be better, because you're not burning yourself out, and then knowing where you need help and hiring the right people.
It's not always the loudest person that is getting the most done.
Right.
And sometimes people can feel that way if they're not the one that is moving the fastest, speaking the loudest, getting the glory, and you're quietly building in the background.
Right.
And you're anchoring, Mark, too, right? And doing all the things that need to get done. It's critical, but it's...
Jo's very selfless, and she's put everybody else first before herself.
Yeah.
So it's like, I never put friction up when she's like, I'm going to do this. It's like, yes, you need that for yourself.
I'm not going to let him anyway.
Yeah, well.
You don't have a choice.
I
But thank you for thinking. Thank you for thinking that you do. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do a little game. I'm going to start with Mark. Mark, I want you to name, let's go with three of the best qualities of Josee.
Caring, empathetic, and driven, even though she'll never say that, but if she's willing to put up with my shit, then it's
interesting.
No, seriously, I think that's...
We're on different wavelengths in terms of like that drive.
Yeah.
She's very driven to succeed and be better for herself and everybody around her all the time. Like, it's without a doubt.
Okay. Josee?
That was nice.
You had a little time to think.
Resilience. Definitely driven as well. So I don't know if this is like a quality or whatever, but like, no, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it still boggles my mind how he his brain manages like all the things that he manages. So I don't know what that.
Superior intelligence. You can just say it.
Like, I think it's like your ADD brain.
I was just thinking that in my head. It's called ADHD.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an acceptable answer, but I think it's.
I put up a post, I think it was yesterday, and I loved it because it was so true. And it said, instead of doing laundry, I'd build a business. My ADHD brain builds a business instead of laundry.
Yeah,
I never felt so seen. So
exactly.
You know, that's what happens. But I want to thank both of you.
Thank you.
For taking the time that you have is precious. I know that, for coming out for this marathon podcast.
Was there any other way?
No, it's the only way I can do things. Yeah. But I'm just so grateful for the honesty, the realness. That was really important for me for these podcast episodes, and choosing people that I knew could be real and relatable. And the two of you are, and I'm grateful to know you.
Thanks for having us.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Now I don't know what to do.
And cut.